Hi, Trey. I think everybody can hear me. Last time I checked, the microphone's working. So, make sure all the controls are working. Okay, good, we got this. And somebody's spamming the hearts. Thanks, Trey. Okay, we got two severe thunderstorm warnings right now. One over Dayton, Ohio, one over Indianapolis. The Indianapolis one right now is currently the strongest one right now, but we are watching this Dayton one closely to see how this begins to affect our area. If I zoom in here, see downtown Dayton up to Xenia and Springfield, there's a little bit of a bowing segment with this storm bringing in strong. I think this is, let's check for 60 mile an hour winds. Won't be surprised if that gets upgraded to possibly 70 mile an hour winds. So that's going through Dayton, Ohio. Let's take a look at the velocity. Yeah, big pocket everywhere, and this blue is around those 50, 60 mile an hour wind speeds. Do I have storm relative? So yeah, pretty strong winds coming through here. This radar application is saying it detects a little bit of rotation with this spinny thing here. I'm not entirely convinced with that, so as of now, we're just going to ignore that. I don't think there is a small low-end tornado threat with any storms that are in any area, but that one does not look currently concerning. Go over to the Indianapolis one. Petting my cat. Wait. Kitty. I'll try not to step on her. Here's our Indianapolis storm again. It looks a little bit stronger. I think this warning is for 70 mile an hour winds. Let's check. Yes, 70 mile an hour winds. So this is a considerable severe thunderstorm warning. So this one is currently the most concerning one. Again, that blue pocket of Waynesville, Lebanon, Noblesville, heading towards downtown Indianapolis itself. And it's not letting me move. For our area itself in Warren County, I am expecting this storm to go stronger. It looks, in the past couple frames, this area to the west of these storms itself has come more together, more fluently. And I think this severe thunderstorm warning will be extended to the west, and as this progresses south and southeasterly, I'm expecting a line of severe thunderstorm warnings to eventually take up this entire area because these storms have all the fuel they need to grow and make those damaging winds. So just keep an eye on that. Zoom in a little bit. Probably some hail coming through Camden and Sugar Valley, smaller hail. Otherwise, winds are our biggest concern right now. I'm going to look back in on this rotation. I mean, there is a little bit of rotation. They probably won't tornado warn this, just because it's not very clean. The radar is down that way, so when you're reading rotation, anywhere in these greens and blues is going towards the radar, and everywhere in these reds is going away from the radar, so you have away, towards, so it's spinning right there. This rotation just, it doesn't entirely convince me. It's also not co-located with where the actual edge of the reflectivity gradient is, so this is probably a false reading too. Let's do a playback. Yes, you can see back over here these storms have started growing stronger. And there's been more of them. Heavier rain, more lightning as they move this way. Click it myself. Although with the direction these are moving, yeah, okay, it seems like these storms are really moving pretty much entirely eastward, except for this part that is coming to the southern perspective. So storms that will impact us will probably have a little bit longer to get down here just because of the way it's moving. Probably got affected by some storm in this area from Newcastle all the way to Dayton. Somewhere between here will be the storms that we experience down in Mason. Oh my gosh. What are you doing? I don't want to step on you. Oh! Jeez! Why are you biting me? Oh my gosh! Okay. So we are under a severe thunderstorm watch everywhere in this orange. It actually ends before it reaches Cincinnati. What county is that? Butler County? I don't know. Who cares? But it ends reaching here. I'll click on it just so we can kind of see. That's the wrong place. 80% chance of damaging winds. Tornado at 20%. Hail at 20%. So combined 95% chance of something severe happening. Look at this. Widespread damaging winds with isolated significant gusts to 80 miles an hour are likely, and isolated large hail events to 1.5 inches in diameter possible, with a tornado or two possible. I'm interested. Let's click on this. Click on the probabilities tab. Interesting. What about impacts? What's going on? Sometimes they'll show you concerts. Okay, scroll down. It's 4.3 million people in this. Columbus Clippers versus Omaha Storm Chasers. That's kind of funny. It'd be unfortunate if anybody's going to those concerts. Let's go back to this Indianapolis storm. Okay, under the basis of how these storms are moving, I think this storm that's hitting Indianapolis right now is the one that is most likely to impact us. So this is going to have a lot of time to sustain itself, maybe get stronger, maybe get weaker as it approaches our area. See, these severe thunderstorm warnings have been extended eastward. It used to be just kind of these two, and now it's extending over here for here. This large warning, this is all one warning. Likely see a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings as it approaches our area. Definitely good to keep an eye, though, on this Dayton storm for our friends in Dayton. Trying to keep an eye on that rotation, or the rotation that the application thinks it sees. So. There is, I think it's safe to say there is a little bit of rotation between Mad River and Springfield. These areas where it's very broad rotation. This is very, very broad, which means it's not tight. And you need tight rotation to create these kind of spin-up tornadoes. So definitely good to keep an eye on this, but right now, this is not concerning tornadically. The biggest concern with this storm is really just the wind. We'll probably see a severe thunderstorm warning for areas east of Eden pretty soon. around, see what else is going on in the world. Anything I'm missing? Yeah, I need to turn on my speakers. They give me a sound whenever there's a new warning issue. There's a tornado warning somewhere. I have, let's see, the latest. Well, here's the latest severe thunderstorm. Where is this? Oh, that's all the way down Pikeville, Kentucky. You don't know this is where Ryan Hall lives. Kind of funny. You have his stream pulled up too. He's looking at it too. There's a tornado warning somewhere. Oh, there it is. Oh, that's the wrong way. Oh, jeez. Still learning. There it is. Oh, I keep pressing the wrong buttons. Okay. I know, I'm the only person watching my own stream, but it's okay. It's all fun. That's what... Can you stop playing? This is what rotation looks like. Very tight gradient between those greens and blues and those reds. That's what you'd expect a tornadic storm to look like, and that's why there's that tornado warning there. Going to this Indianapolis storm, where did I see it? Somewhere down here there was a 54 mile an hour wind gust report. If I zoom out, maybe it'll show it again. Yeah, right there. 54 miles an hour. That might be where the airport is. That's probably, yeah. I mean, this storm does look pretty strong. There's probably a pretty gnarly shelf cloud with this too. There are pictures coming in. The one over Dayton, I just stuttered really badly. We're going to ignore that. This one over Dayton does already have a pretty gnarly shelf cloud with it. It's just watching to see how these storms evolve once they approach our area. We still got a good amount of time before anything hits us. We're going to have some big flash flooding problems up in Dayton areas west and north. That's unfortunate. There's a mesoscale discussion. I don't know why it's not showing up. I have them turned on. Yeah, it's that one, but it's not showing up. This is rage bait. Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay, here's the mesoscale discussion that I just figured out how to show up. And my cat's just going crazy. So everywhere in this area, the mesoscale discussion, I'm probably ignoring this area back here, but from this storm down to the southwest, it's saying there's an enhanced probability of those stronger wind speeds from 70 to possibly those 80-mile-an-hour wind speeds. Up in northwestern Indiana, there are some wind speeds approaching 90 miles an hour. I think there's a 93-mile-an-hour wind gust, a lot of damage up there. We're expecting possibly up to 80-mile-an-hour winds from Cincinnati through Indianapolis and into Dayton. Stronger meteorology talk here, a stronger cold pool is pushing it down and increasing these wind speeds, while the shear vector right now isn't entirely favorable. It's not at the right direction or orientation aligned with these storms and the boundaries to make this wind speed threat higher, but with time, the National Weather Service believes that these shear vectors may become better orientated. So we'll just watch this and see if this strengthens, which it likely will. We got a new severe thunderstorm warning. Let me turn off this mesoscale discussion, though. It's kind of hard to see through it. A new severe thunderstorm warning. So now the entirety of Xenia and the Xenia Metro and the areas south is now under severe thunderstorm warning. Let's check what that is for. 60-mile-an-hour winds, quarter-inch hail. There is a tornado. Where's my mouse? This is embarrassing. Okay, there it is. Hi, back it up, Terry. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry you had to see that. Okay, so the severe thunderstorm warning does have that tornado possible tag, and this is starting to look more tornadic. Let's look at the velocity. I'm going to put this down just so I can kind of use my hands. Who is Big Blue? But hi. So, as I said before, but I was the only one watching my own stream, so nobody heard it, but it's okay. The radar is down to our south. Well, where I am in the radar. Everywhere on this blue and green is going towards the radar. Everywhere on this red is going away from the radar, so that is where that rotation is coming. Now before, it was kind of orientated like this, but it's starting to kind of bend itself around. You can see it's kind of making an S shape here. When you see that S shape, that's an indication that that rotation is possibly strengthening, but it's also just becoming more orientated in a favorable way for tornadoes. So that's probably why they put that tornado possible tag on that severe thunderstorm warning, and it's good to keep an eye on this for even longer. Terry's cousin. Okay. They might just wait until this enters this severe thunderstorm warning, but I'm sure they're gonna create a mega severe thunderstorm warning for this. And I think that was a flood advisory that just came through. Lots and lots of rain. Oh, didn't mean to click that. I mean, if you're Dayton, Springfield, and areas west all along this corridor are going to be experiencing some pretty bad flooding problems just because of these training thunderstorms bringing down a lot of rain. I'm so glad you're learning so much. Looking back at this storm over Indianapolis, this is the one that's going to affect us here in Warren County. It's just looking better and better by the minute. This is just, it's a huge storm. If you want to keep learning, here's a cool thing. Sometimes on the radar you can see an outflow boundary, and that is what this line right here is. I'll trace it along with my finger. All the way through here. That is what's called an outflow boundary with this storm. Now when you're watching these, with storms like this, if that outflow boundary extends in front of the storm, it starts cutting off the storm from the inflow it needs to get stronger, or keep it sustained. You can see up here, the boundary is still co-located with the actual areas of precipitation itself, but down south approaching Shelbyville, it's a little disconnected. Over here, south of Indianapolis, it's completely disconnected, but that's okay, because the storm is no longer in that area. So that's what's called an outflow boundary, and that occurs because this storm is pushing out cold air in front of it, creating those wind speeds, creating that boundary. So watch that. We'll probably get a new severe thunderstorm warning for areas west of Richmond. Is that a tornado warning? Oh, look at that, I called it. Okay. So there's a tornado warning for areas in between Xenia and Springfield. Should have had that sound. I don't know why I came through, but it's for that area of rotation I was just talking about. You can see this S shape is coming even more together with this rotation. So if you're anywhere in this area, just north of Washington Courthouse, south of London, north of Xenia, south of Springfield, you need to get in shelter right now. I doubt anybody from there is watching right now, but never be too careful. Also going to check my settings because that should have made a noise, but it didn't, which is unfortunate. Or maybe I was just talking, didn't hear it. So. Sorry for the noise pollution. That was rough. Wish it could be good. Should be good now. That was really loud. Yeah, most concerning thing right now is this tornado warning over Springfield. It's still pretty broad rotation as of now. Again, watching this area where SGH is. I think that's an airport, right? This area right here. So continue watching that. I mean, it does look like it's getting better and better by the scan of the rotation itself. So this tornado warning is definitely warranted. I can turn myself down because I can hear myself. Not a horrible idea, but looking over here, areas west of Day in this storm is just looking stronger and stronger by the minute as well. All these dots are lightning strikes as well, so you can see a lot of lightning within the storm, pretty prolific. Going back over to our Indianapolis storm, which is currently producing 60 to 70 mile an hour winds right now. You can see it just kind of looks like, this is what's called, it's called a bowing segment, because it kind of looks like a bow. You can also imagine it as like a backwards C. I can draw it out. I drew it out everywhere along, this is, the red line is the front of this storm, so you can kind of see it looks like a bow that you would shoot. It's called a bowing segment. Areas in that bowing segment typically have stronger winds. So when you see a bowing segment, you'll typically see a severe thunderstorm warning with it. And I can't move my mouse. There we go. Back over to this tornado warning. Yeah, so right here you can see this little indent right here. This is called inflow. It's an inflow notch. The wind, you can actually see these particles through here are coming out this way, and some of them are getting, at the very low levels, are getting curved back in to here, and then that's when it comes back in, spins, and creates that tornado. So we're seeing a strengthening inflow notch with rotation that does look like it's still broad, but it's still there. So this tornado warning is, like I said before, definitely warranted. We just got a new severe thunderstorm warning for Connorsville and Richmond. This is for 60 mile an hour winds. I pull up the reflectivity. Actually putting this pretty far ahead of the other ones. This storm, yeah, it's for these. They're just really pre-firing the severe thunderstorm warning for these storms itself. But also, probably these storms up here by Richmond are producing strong winds. We also got a new one over here for Shelbyville, Franklin, and areas of Danville, Martinsville. There's actually no actual storm with this, but you can see this outflow boundary is actually producing strong winds up to 60 miles an hour. So there's a severe thunderstorm warning. There will be strong winds, even though there might not be any rain or lightning for that matter. If I actually look, it's probably 60-mile-an-hour wind speeds. Yes, and it's observed. So, yeah. Go back and watch this tornado warning. Started to see the beginning of an outflow boundary forming here. It's an interesting looking storm. It's very curvy. Don't want to just repeat the same stuff over and over. That gets annoying real quick. So, tornado warning for areas of southwest of Springfield, north of Washington Courthouse. Severe thunderstorm warning for Dayton and Xenia. Severe thunderstorm warning for Richmond, Indianapolis, Franklin, and all the areas in this orange. Every area in this light orange around here is for a severe thunderstorm watch. Actually, a new severe thunderstorm has been issued for Versailles, Cincinnati Metro, Batavia, Georgetown. Let's take a look at that. So this is one severe thunderstorm watch that's been issued for the rest of southeastern Ohio. This one expires in 5 hours. Let's read it. Shift to this side. So we're looking at widespread damaging winds and isolated significant gusts to 80 miles an hour are likely. Isolated large hail events 1.5 inches and a tornado or 2 are possible. So that's the same as the severe thunderstorm warning we have in Dayton. Dayton areas just south and around Dayton. It's probably the same severe thunderstorm watch we have for northern Kentucky, which also expires in 5 hours. I don't think we need to read that because I'm going to assume it's the same. We just got some kind of update on the tornado warning. Zoom in on that. It's looking a lot less concerning now. You can see, I was pointing out that S shape earlier. Actually, I can go to playback and show the previous ones. So this is when it started kind of pointing out the rotation. You can see the line that this is angled at is kind of straight down. It's a straight line. Then as it approaches, it starts to become an S shape, and then when that tornado warning is issued, about here, is when you can really see that S shape start cranking. It stays there, but now it's kind of dying out, becoming more of a straight line again. So this tornado warning will likely be allowed to expire for now. These storms are known to produce tornadoes on a whim, very quickly, very randomly. So anywhere in these tornado warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings, that's why it's so imperative you're inside for any of these storms. Let's take a look at this Indianapolis storm. Interesting. So we're actually getting a lot of prefrontal cells popping up in front of the actual main storm itself with all this rain. These prefrontal storms will actually likely cause this storm behind it to start weakening because they're taking up its inflow. It's also at this point probably become an outflow dominant storm as well. So these storms here, watching them grow and expand is going to be our area of interest for now. So it's a good call by the Weather Service for putting this severe thunderstorm warning in place. The application did call out that tornado warning pretty well, so it's saying it's seeing more rotation. Yeah, I don't trust that for now. Okay, you've heard that beep, and this flashing orange box is our new severe thunderstorm warning for Xenia, and encompasses that entire tornado warning. So now there's a severe thunderstorm warning for Washington Courthouse and London, approaching Columbus, Ohio for these storms. With that tornado warning, I scooted way too far back, so we're gonna ignore that. New beep. Just making sure that tornado, I mean that severe thunderstorm warning isn't anywhere near us. Okay, it looks like, yeah, we're good. It's all the way down there. Good. Watching these storms approaching us right now. South of the boundary. Virginia, Hamilton, we'll see that. You start looking outside your windows and looking north, you might start seeing this storm. Possibly even seeing a shelf cloud from really far away. I'm actually going to take a look outside the window myself to see. Yeah, you can certainly see something. Not the entirety of it. It may not be a shelf cloud, or just not seeing the entirety of it right now, but let's take a look back at this tornado warning. Like I said before, these tornadoes pop up really quickly in storms like this, so it's never a good idea to leave one standing for too long. But this one looks like they're definitely going to let expire, or possibly even cancel this tornado warning, because there's no longer any significant rotation warranting a warning at all. Actually, let's see what it says on the warning. So this expires in 15 minutes if we read it. Sometimes it'll say it's moved out of the area. Let's see. And it's not letting me click on it. This is unfortunate. Okay, nice. Hi, Pouncer. I was just doing that for the severe thunderstorm watch. When I heard it. Yeah, so this is a pretty impressive line of storms with these damaging wind gusts. It's likely that this entire row of storms will eventually become joined together and march their way south, mostly east, but also some southern component to this. So we'll likely see the rain fill in between here. You can see there's like a couple gaps. Those will likely fill in. We'll get severe thunderstorm warnings all along this line, probably from Columbus all the way down here to Greensburg, south of Indianapolis, as these storms move through. You can see outflow boundaries forming, that tornado warning, and the severe thunderstorm warning. So this is pretty impressive so far. We're just waiting as these approach. And the HRR model that I showed yesterday actually got this pretty spot on. Pretty impressive. No derecho today. It was stupid of me to throw around that word yesterday, so my fault. But if you take a look up here, there were some really, really strong wind gusts south of Chicago through Joliet and Valparaiso. That's where the 93-mile-an-hour wind gust was. A lot of damage up there. It's unfortunate. Pressed the wrong button so many times you'd think I just changed the layout. I think that's just an update to that severe thunderstorm warning. Yeah. Checking on everything. Okay, so it's one of the possibilities that the National Weather Service can do is every one of these severe thunderstorm warnings has a tornado possible tag on it, which means these storms could possibly produce a tornado. As we saw with this one over here, they actually updated that tornado warning. They're still gonna, it still expires in 13 minutes, but they are letting it stay in effect for now. Take a look at the rotation, see if I can see anything they're seeing. Not really. It's like a normal area of wind to me. So that tornado warning will likely expire in the 13 minutes. If nothing changes, this will not be reissued. So for areas near Washington Courthouse, as of now, it looks like you will be okay with that tornado, with that tornadic perspective part of this. We're just watching all these other storms. We'd like to see this severe thunderstorm warning will definitely be put east, maybe for areas south of Eaton, approaching Hamilton and Brookville. We'll probably get one down here, approaching Lebanon and Hamilton in the next hour or so as these storms approach the area, especially with this outflow boundary. This outflow boundary is where that shelf cloud will also be. That'll be interesting to see as that goes over our area. So I keep an eye on my window. Yeah, you can start to see the shelf cloud. Start to see the very low layers of it, so that's very interesting. Yeah, here we go. So they just not reissued the tornado warning, but gave it an update. The tornado warning for northeastern Fayette, east central Greene, and southeastern Clark and southwestern Madison counties will expire at 3 p.m. The tornado threat has diminished and the tornado warning has been canceled. However, large hail and damaging winds remain likely and the severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect for the area. So again, the tornado threat is no longer there, but actually, as soon as they gave that update, new radar scan came through, and just based off the things I'm seeing through reflectivity, talking about that inflow notch looking here, concerned me for a split second. So let's take a look at the velocity, and yeah, all good. So strong winds, a little bit of, you can have big Boeing segments, but you can also have smaller Boeing segments. So here, Blessing south along Jeffersonville, strong winds incoming. Yeah, I can really start to see that shelf cloud moving through. So as this approaches our area, I've got here Mason, Level, and Lebanon. Sign right here. We're likely to see a severe thunderstorm warning for these areas pretty soon. Strong storm going through Columbus right now. Currently not severe. You can see those cells that were popping up a few scans ago. Actually, let's just do that. Right here. There was nothing. You see how quickly these storms can take control of the fuel in this atmosphere and come together. Now we had all those storms, and now grow super crazy upscale until we reach this point where now the line has kind of re-strengthened. Now we have a new little Boeing segment coming through. It's kind of interesting. I'm very excited to see this shelf cloud come through. It's going to look pretty gnarly. This is not your everyday severe thunderstorm. This is not your everyday summer thunderstorm. So this will be interesting. I'll be back. I'm gonna go put my weather station on my truck so I can know what wind speeds are coming through. like I said before, the severe thunderstorm warnings have been extended to Hamilton, Fairfield, Harrison, Brookville, and Batesville. And there's a severe thunderstorm warning approaching Lebanon and Warren County. Look at that. Holy call out. Oh, what the heck just happened? Okay. I'm going to click on all these just to see. Okay, that's rough. Okay, so the most concerning storm that I'm seeing right now is this one from Richmond down to area south of Indianapolis. Dang. Okay. 70-mile-an-hour winds are coming with this storm, and there's that tornado possible tag. So any storm along here at any moment could bring up a tornado, so you want to watch out for that. One of my friends just got here, so I will be right back again. Sorry for leaving every single second. a new tornado warning. Starting to get crazy, guys. And when I say guys, I mean the one other person watching, but it's okay. I appreciate it. There's a new tornado warning for Harrison, Lawrenceburg, Batesville, and Brookville, parts of Indiana, parts of Ohio, and very northern. Sorry, I ran up here. Kentucky. Let's take a look at this rotation that is prompting this tornado warning. If I zoom way in on it. Yeah, that little bit of red here, and a little bit of, yeah, there's definitely some rotation between here that warrants this tornado warning. Nothing super clear to point out about that rotation, but there is stuff there. It's like I said before, anywhere along this line at any moment could get a tornado warning because these tornadoes can pop up really quickly, so it's imperative you are inside and ready to take shelter. You can sit in my seat, Doug. So if you're in Harrison, Lawrenceville, Batesville, or Brookville, you need to take shelter right now. This severe thunderstorm warning, did they downgrade it? Nope. The screen I'm looking at does not show Keller very well, so I'm actually having to look down here. This severe thunderstorm warning is still for 70-mile-an-hour winds with that tornado possible tag, so definitely need to keep an eye on this. New severe thunderstorm for Washington. This one's been here, but severe thunderstorm for Washington Courthouse, all the way up to areas by Grove City and Columbus. That's moving through London, 60-mile-an-hour winds. So, Xenia, Dane, and Lebanon, Ohio, severe thunderstorm warning for you guys as well. Everywhere from probably just north of Washington Courthouse through Xenia, Dane, Ian, and Connorsville, we're going to see some very, you guys are getting a crap ton of rain, so you're going to see probably some flash flood warnings go out soon. If I look at, let's see, I can pull up the precipitation accumulation real quick and kind of look at what we're looking at. Already approaching 1.5 to 2 inches over Dayton, Ohio. We're only going to see more. Okay, I'm taking a drink of water. Holy crap! Highly recommend looking north right now. Holy crap! Well, the thing is, it's going to be here soon anyway, so we can just watch it from here. What? Okay, I don't know if there's anybody watching, but I'm going to end this live stream to go take a look at the storm real quick. We're going to go out somewhere. I'll come back, live stream once we get back. So, thank you for watching. As these storms approach, I promise I will live stream again. We're just going to go out and look at